Hi, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, chaplain of the arts. We are jumping back in. This is part two of an interview, so I'm not gonna pretend that it's a new one, but this will probably be pieced in with something else if you're listening to it on the radio. We are talking about fringe stuff. The Winnipeg Fringe Festival. Talking to Marysia. Sorry, tell me again. Oh,
Trembecka.
it's right here. It's your Facebook thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Trembecka,
yeah.
the singing psychic, and she is from London, UK, not London, Ontario. I've been to
Nice.
London, Ontario. There's not much there. Uh, Her show is, when's your next show?
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then not till I think 5 on Monday. I've got the weekend off, so
Well, that is exciting, and
yeah.
that is I I can't. Where does it? Tell me where. Oh, it's. Oh, I know the warehouse. It's at the warehouse.
It's at the
Tom
warehouse.
Hendry. Okay, good.
It's at the
I have
warehouse.
such a terrible time remembering things. I'm very ADHD, and I can't keep things in the right spots in my head. Do you remember all the things you need to remember all the time? Is your mind like a steel trap? Everything's up there.
But I'm a great believer. When I'm back in London, I have like 4 or 5 whiteboards. I'm like sticky note central.
Yeah.
So when I'm traveling like this, I'm every
Yeah.
day I'm having to make a list because I can be a little bit. So I have to really
Yeah.
what needs to happen today. Like today, I know by tomorrow, I've got to send all the. I'm doing Gothenburg Fringe Festival in September after CAF. So then I've got to. They want some artwork and everything for tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I have to write lists, otherwise forget it.
Do you look like? Does your place look like you're a conspiracy theorist? Do you have all the big boards and you've got pictures and strings and all the things? Does it
Well, I
look
look
like
like a
you're
cabaret
solving a
artist.
crime? Okay. Okay.
There is glitter everywhere.
Yeah.
There is an 8-foot wheel of fortune I built by my own hands
Yeah.
with the help of my construction tutor and
Yeah.
my art director, Martin Butterworth.
Yeah.
I've got spray paint work. It's just, I've got 2 wardrobes, at least double wardrobes of cabaret
Yeah.
clothing. Yeah.
Is this in your studio or in your house?
No, I've got a 2-bedroom flat in London. So
Yeah.
not got a rent. So.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, do you live with someone? Does it?
No.
Okay, because that would probably drive them crazy, right?
Oh, yeah,
All the
yeah.
stuff. It would be like,
I
yeah.
think Tracy Emin, who's a British artist that you may or may not have heard of, very famous British artist, she actually said famously, there are good artists that have children. They're called men. But also she also extended that into having people around, because I think art takes a lot of focus, and you can do it in a partnership, but you need very, very willing, supportive people that are able to support each other with, especially if you're both artists. It can work brilliantly, but I'm a bit of a I'm very focused on what I do. So
How long have you been making art?
I think forever, but I've been a cabaret touring artist for like 20 years now.
Uh, what did your family think about your stuff
Well,
when you started doing that?
my father still thinks I'm insane.
Yeah.
So my first career was in the city in London. I used to be a bond dealer, so I'd yell and government bonds. So I'd yell and scream on a trading floor
Nice.
for 5 years, and then I kind of gave it up to become an artist. I went back to school to study music, acting, improv, everything. I just kind of gave up everything and then moved to LA and kind of semi-retired at 20, 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
Spent all the money since, but I've then had decades of running around the planet doing, I'm in Cannes Film Festival every year. I've just done that for 2 weeks. I have an incredible life, but I'm a big budgeter. I'm a big spreadsheeter. I mean, I'm very, I suppose ADHD in that very focus. I really have to, this has been spreadsheeted at the wazoo.
I've been learning in the last few weeks about something interesting, which is called ADHD, which is autism and ADHD, and kind of how they collide in the middle.
Okay.
And that's very interesting because there are some things like in ADHD, you have that hyper focus, but then also for people on the spectrum, there is also what they call special interests, so that's people that are just like very dialed in to one thing. And that's kind of interesting how they collide. And I mean, I kind of relate to a lot of that. Like my keys are this big, and I've got a tracker on them, and they're big and they're orange because I lose my fucking keys all the time.
Right.
I can't. But like if I'm doing something like this, we're doing, I don't know, probably going to be 20 hours of Fringe interviews, and maybe 75 artists. um, that's the thing I can do,
which is a massive task,
but I
and
literally,
well filmed with proper sound. You've got a plan. It's a big thing, right?
but it's like regular things I have a hard time with. This is why I'm so mad at AI, because I'm like, uh, I don't want AI to be making art and to be writing stuff. I want AI to be picking up the dog shit in my yard. I want AI
You need
to
a
be
robot.
doing my laundry, right? But this is the thing, right? There are these things I don't want to do, but AI is doing all these. It's very upsetting. I don't know if you see any of this.
Yeah, I
The
did
AI stuff. It's awful.
I actually did a course in London last end of last year about AI prompt engineering, because I
Yeah.
thought I don't understand it enough. So I did a 6-week course,
Yeah.
a few hours a week, just to get it. I kind of use it sometimes to. Someone asked me to write a guest post in Toronto, so I wrote it and then put it into AI and said clean it up a bit, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, please, I had to write, please do not make up any facts and figures, because it will make up stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it does make up stuff.
Yeah.
And in some of the paragraphs just sang a bit quicker, but I'd written it all myself first.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm not using AI. I'm improvising. The singing psychic reads the songs in people's heart. AI can't really do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe it can. I don't know.
So you're pretty good at reading a room.
Yeah, I think 20 years of being an artist and an improviser, you get pretty good. And I've done singing psychic for the first 1 hour coming of age show was 2015, and
Mm-hmm.
in the years before that, I was developing the character. It took quite a while to get her on stage and work out who she is. And then also, because I'd done Edinburgh prior, when I first took singing psychic to Edinburgh in 2016, I knew that show had to be absolutely tight, because there's no mercy in Edinburgh. You've got to be very, very good. So actually, the previous year to Edinburgh, I took it. I'd taken it to Prague Fringe. I did Camden Fringe.
Mm-hmm.
I'd done the Brit Awards. I was doing lots of corporate work. So my show was really tight when I got to Edinburgh, because there's like 3,700 shows, different shows. There's what here, under 300.
Yeah, I don't know what I should look it up, because the discussion has come up, but it's probably 180, or
Yeah,
it's not anywhere near. Yeah.
It's not even, exactly, it's not even a tenth. I think it's under 277, but I may be wrong. I don't know. That's not to downgrade here.
No, it's just a different animal.
It's a very different beast, so you have to be much more on it. So at least that's why I thought, if I'm going to come here to do CAF, because I did Montreal last year and it went so well with the same singing psychic game show, I thought, at least I know my show works. I'm not stressing about it. It gets to move and change, because it's audience interaction, it's games. But at least I feel like I've got. And if it all goes wrong and no one wants to interact with me, which never happens, then I do have the full 1 hour show that I used to tour 10 years ago. So it's all in there.
Yeah.
My poor techs are very forgiving.
And you're also doing some other stuff. You're doing some educational kind of stuff. You mentioned.
Yes. Yeah. So off the back of
I can see the glitter. You said there's glitter
everywhere.
I can see the glitter.
I'm covered in glitter. In fact, the only thing that took off all the Toronto glitter was on Sunday. I had a day off from Toronto Fringe and I went to Niagara Falls for the very first day. Oh my goodness, it's magnificent.
Yeah.
And I'd been to Toronto before for TIFF, but I'd never. It was a very short trip, so I went. And I stood in front of it, and Niagara is the only thing that can get cabaret makeup off. I literally, it came off partly standing next, and then I did the boat, and the boat took me down. I had like streaks of eyeliner. I came off. I mean,
it is funny, because I've been on the boat too, and you don't really. They give you the blue windbreakers or whatever, the ponchos. You don't really know how wet you're going to get. You don't. I mean, because you think, oh, I'm just, we're just near it, but I mean, there's so much water. It's just an incredible amount of water.
It's incredible. I mean, I felt like I'd almost been back to the church reference, a bit reborn, baptized, cleansed. It was incredible, but it literally managed to get all the eyeliner that was not moving. Like I looked like I just painted myself with mascara over my face.
But it's not practical to go to Niagara Falls every time you need to take your makeup off.
I don't know. I think it might be my rider when I make it, whatever that means. So because I'm an ex-banker, when I was doing Singing Psychic, she reads the songs in people's hearts, but buildings sing to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in Edinburgh, I did something for the Scotsman. I'm doing something here. I'm trying to make, well, I'm not, I'm in the process of filming as I go, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to make a feature. But I was looking at everyone in 2016 in the UK. We had the Brexit, the EU referendum.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, hang on, my father's Polish, hence the name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough about EU referendum. I studied banking at university. I traded for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, if I haven't got a clue how the EU and the British relationship
Mm-hmm.
is, how does anyone else? And at the time, I was making a web series of the songs of the Soho buildings. So the guy in the Apple store, so pretty on it, said, I don't know. So I kind of made it for him. So I did about a month of research on the pros and cons of the EU referendum, but
Mm-hmm.
then did it as the Singing Psychic, split it up. And then off the back of that, and it did really well. I got on BBC TV off the back of it. It was on national debates because no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, pros and cons, facts and figures, no yelling, but with song.
Yeah.
So because I wanted to, I think as a cabaret artist, you get to speak truths, right? And why not look at, who says I can't look at politics? Because I've got, I can read the Financial Times or the Wall Street Journal. So off the back of that, I then applied for funding to make my Queen of the F World show, because that's all about sexual politics and how we're all judged by our sexuality unless you're white, straight, and male.
Yeah.
So that really.
I'm sorry. I'm actually not straight. But I'm just making a joke.
You do you. I don't. There's no judgment. But the point is, there's historical judgment over on both. So I looked at Oscar Wilde, Vita Sackville West. So then I've kept on making work I want work that resonates, not just comedy. And then I suddenly went, well, hang on a second. During COVID, I've just spent however long running around the planet, and I do somehow have managed to make a career as a working artist.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to release something called Get Your Art in Gear. So I'm doing a talk in Winnipeg on this Sunday, July 20th, to a Winnipeg have sorted it out. It's going to be some people who are part of the university and part of their program, where I'm talking about how do we take a show, how do you tour it, because I've released albums, whatever your art form is, there's not enough supportive help creatively, financially. And what about things like pensions? Most creatives don't have pensions, which I know loads about. So I've really gone into it because I think I can help educate people. How do you get a show to tour? How do you take your show to Australia? How do you go to Canada? How do you win at Edinburgh? I've won at Edinburgh, right? As in, I've done sellout shows. I've made work. I had my first show here yesterday. My artwork looks incredible, but that's on my art director, Martin Butterworth, who's created all the bits and the badge. But I've just had to learn a lot, because if I don't sell the show, I'm not eating. It's a really good way of proving if you're good enough or where you need to improve. And I'm still learning.
And that whole the business of making all that work is its own thing. I mean, there are people that are forever throughout history. There's people that have been brilliant artists that just their minds don't work that way. And this is I think it's great that you're sharing your wisdom with all these folks on Sunday. This project that we're doing here, our big slogan for it here, show them your shirt. Our big slogan is art will save us all. And I feel like
it's true. It really is.
And true. I feel like it's one of the things with that is I feel like it's really important to that we need to collaborate. I feel like we need to we each need to take what we can do that we're good at, and we need to be sharing that with each other because there's strength in numbers, right? And
because there's this. Sorry,
no.
The thing is, there's this idea of artists. We're not supposed to eat properly, pay our taxes, have a proper life after it, right? There's this. It doesn't matter what kind of art you are, whether you're a theatre artist, a cabaret artist, a painter, and that hasn't really changed despite social media. Some people are influencers and make great money off that. Fantastic, if that's what you do. But that doesn't necessarily change and uplift and make someone look at the world a different place, open a different dialogue of communication, transport people in the way that art does. And I think there is, and I'm lucky because I'm left right brain, but I think for example, Rihanna's biggest tour was that the only girl in the world tour. She ended up taking her accountants to court because it was the world's biggest tour. And touring artist Rihanna, she made a fortune. However, her accountants were managing all the money, and they didn't tell her that as she moved with her entourage and all the dances and the lights, they were costing a fortune. So they didn't warn her. So they were taking like 9% or something of everything, like the coffee for like 20 backing dancers. So they absolutely took more. They earned more money off that tour than she did. So she took them to court. So you have to know, or you have to have someone on your side.
Well, and I'm sure that you know this, but I mean, there's something called film accounting, which is, a movie makes $580 million and it loses money. So yeah, I mean, it is very, very opaque, that whole thing. And for most artists, you want to do your art, you want to put out a great thing, and it's hard to it's just hard to think about all that stuff, and it's hard to, and even every year, I mean, there's always somebody who does a great show, everybody loves it, and they can't figure out how to get people to go. Every year, people will say, oh, you got to, so and so, this person, they're doing this wonderful show, and it's so great, and all the performers all love it, and they all know, but the person has just had such a hard time getting actual people to go. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I like to do this, because reviews are so crucial, right? If you get a 5-star review, great. I mean, if you get a 1-star review, it's like the money is just falling out of your pocket. And those reviews are so subjective. Even I was talking to one of the guys yesterday from Sound and Fury, who said that they got a review years ago where the reviewer gave them the reviewer said everybody around me was laughing and clapping, and I don't know why, and then gave it a bad review. Which means the people in the audience liked it, you didn't like it. And so this is kind of the problem with reviews. So I like doing this because you're going to sit here and you're going to talk about what you're about and what you're doing, and then people can decide if they like you. I'm sure people are going to like you. You seem likable. Do you have any enemies?
I'd like to think I probably do, just because it'd be really boring if I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm a practicing Buddhist. I chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, and in fact, on Saturday, I'm even connecting with my local. I'm part of the SGI. We have no priest. It's about you trying to be the best version of yourself every day and raising your life state to do so. And I've managed from London to find a group in Winnipeg, and I'm going to chant with them on Saturday morning.
That's fun.
Which I'm loving the fact. But
there is just right over. There's train tracks right here. Right over the tracks. There's a bridge here. There is there's a Buddhist temple that used to be, I think, a Greek Orthodox church. And the Buddha, there's a giant gold Buddha, which used to be in another building, which I've been to because I was doing something in the building, and they said, I was on the second floor, and they said, no, you can't go past here because this is over the Buddha's head.
Oh my
goodness. You can't walk on the Buddha's head. Only the priests can go there. So they somehow, I didn't see it happen, but they took this giant Buddha out of this other building, and they built this building is really funny. So they built a building on top of this old Greek Orthodox church it's kind of, sort of pagoda style, whatever you call that. And there's a big metal staircase that goes up the outside. And that's where they've got the Buddha is up in there. And I'm sad that I missed that, because somebody must have been, hauling the Buddha down the street with the big thing.
How tall is the Buddha?
I mean, it's big. It's like, I guess probably, I don't know. That's a great question.
We're talking
15 or 15 feet high.
Good grief. Okay.
Yeah, it's big.
That's a forklift. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the thing about which I think helps with my show, and I tell you, when I'm touring, yesterday there were some things going on, and I was like, thank God I chart, and I'd encourage anyone who is doing shows, you need to find your own way of keeping calm. I'm not saying everyone
and carrying on.
Yeah, you need to find a way because
That's
inevitably.
a joke because you're British.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Keep calm and carry on. Well, actually, I think it's keep calm and drink tea. Actually,
Okay.
but I did actually bring my own English Earl Grey tea bags all the way,
Nice.
just in case.
Nice.
But there's you when you are touring like this, part of it is the obstacles or the issues, the unexpected things that will happen, and it's always important to be raising your life state. So whatever's going on, you think this is fine. We're going to make this work.
Mhm.
It's so important. So I probably have less enemies because of that. Just because I'm not saying I'm perfect, but maybe I think I am.
Pretty close.
I really chant every day before in the morning and before I go on stage.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm doing is chanting so that everyone's just going to have an amazing time and everyone's safe and happy, because the world needs to be a happier place. And part of my show is actually let's make friends and let's have more dialogue. And I think that's the artist's job, right? Art will save us all. It has to. And I think that I'm doing this incredible 2 months across Canada, meeting people, filming, because I'm going to make the Singing Psychic Reads Canada.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to, and I found Winnie the Pooh was named after Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So I walked on stage last night and started singing Bare Necessities. I'm like, it has to be done. They're like, what is she doing? But yeah, so I think what you're doing is really important.
What else do you want to go see while you're here?
I've got a list because there were some shows I didn't see in Toronto. So I want to also, Penny Astor I met like literally 2008 when I did Montreal Fringe the first time. I haven't seen her since. So I'm going to see her show. I'm going to see Jimmy Hogg. Just because the problem is, first show you're too busy. You can't. The first run is you're everywhere. I only saw 2 shows which are very good in Toronto. So I've got a plan. I want to see Adams. I want to see Plan V, Eleanor. There is Gem Rolls. I'm going to see that improv one that was mentioned now.
Improvision.
Yeah, I want to see. There's a gender play there in my venue, and also the Birdcage. I want to see. I try and see everything in my venue.
Yeah.
And then some others. There's one in G minor. What's it called? A Nervous Breakdown in G minor. That sounds really fun, by Lewis. Because sometimes you meet people and you think that sounds great, or I just want to support. If I've met you, I suppose it's the same. Let me go and see your show.
Yeah.
And someone came yesterday for The Show Must Go On. Yeah, I think it's The Show Must Go On. And they came to, I didn't know, but then they sent me the card, because everyone leaves with their own Singing Psychic card for the month. And then I encourage them to, contact me. And then I do a little mini Singing Psychic reading. And there's a prize at the end of the Canada tour for whoever's done that. But he said, "Oh, come and see." He said, "Great show. Come and see my show." So
nice.
I'm going. So
that's amazing. Well, Marysia Trembecka is doing the Singing Psychic game show, which is a 5-star hit all over the place. 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. I don't even want to tell you how many 5 stars. There's so many. That is happening over at Tom Hendry Warehouse. Your next show is
1:00 Friday, and then 5:00 Monday, and then every day next week apart from Friday then. But I've got the weekend off, so I'm going to see some shows.
That is great.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
My pleasure.
And thanks to you for stopping by. Stay tuned for all the other great interviews. Lots more stuff to come.
And don't forget, art will save your life.
Art will save us all. Thank you.